Much anticipated release of classified documents from the Kennedy assassination probe was partially delayed yesterday after a 1992 law mandated the release of nearly 3,000 documents in full late in the evening. President Trump held back some items that scholars were most eager to see. As for what was released, images of CIA surveillance photos from the early 1960s, a December 1963 visitor's log from President Lyndon Johnson's ranch in Texas that included a CIA officer, and reports that Lee Harvey Oswald obtained ammunition from a right-wing militia group, and a memo from FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover dictated after Oswald was shot, quote, "There is nothing further on the Oswald case except that he is dead." Among the documents apparently not in the release are on the file on the head of the Dallas CIA office in 1963, the businessman who met with Jack Ruby just before he shot Oswald, and several files on notorious anti-Castro Cuban exiles.
Can I stop for 1 second?
Yeah.
Hey, Gene Robinson, for those of us that have been following this, I mean, and reading about it and looking at it and
Fascinated by it.
Fascinated by it and wanting to get to the bottom of it, of course. I think everybody that's looked at this seriously believes that Oswald acted alone. But that said, the killing of Jack Ruby is the one thing that has just been the irritant that has not allowed America to put this away. I'm wondering why they're withholding the Jack Ruby information.
Well, you know, that's a good question. There was a poll recently that said something like more than half, something like 61% of Americans believe there was some sort of conspiracy involved in the assassination of President Kennedy. I'm not one of them. I believe Oswald acted alone in the assassination, but by withholding these 300 documents, yet again, what the government has done is essentially give more fuel to the conspiracy theories that have been going on for 50 years, for longer than that. I mean, it's crazy. And what I think is behind it is, you know, the old CYA, the CIA and the FBI trying to cover up their mistakes and the fact that they knew more about Oswald than they have told us before the assassination, and the implication is they should have done something.
Right, but the question is, Heidi, why would you withhold the document that was pertaining to the business person that met with Jack Ruby right before he killed Oswald?
Well, I guess based on what I've read, the problem from the very beginning has been the overclassification of the documents, and none of us can speculate, but I know that this is not just kind of like some fringe problem of people having conspiracy theories. It's because from the very beginning so much was withheld. I talked to my parents, for example, last night, because obviously I wasn't around for this, and I consider them very educated, informed people who are not prone to conspiracy theories. And I said, why do you think this has been the case for so many years? My mom said, well, you know, he kind of fell forward, and based on the direction that Harvey Oswald was standing, he shouldn't have fallen forward, he should have fallen back. So this is something that's been around for so long, and by the fact that they're still withholding these, I think it's just going to continue. I guess they have another 6 months for these to come out. Is that what the decision was?
Yeah. And I mean, all of our parents, Donnie, I mean, my parents, I won't even tell you who my dad said killed.
Oh, please.
JFK.
Just...
Long after I'm dead and gone, Joey, you'll find out fill in the blank, killed JFK. But yeah, I mean, it seems to me, get it all out there.
Yeah.
And what national security secrets are you protecting 54 years later? It's ridiculous.
I'm going to be, you know, look, I'm a big Oliver Stone fan, so I've seen the movie, so we all understand what really happened there. Yeah,
it was the Billy Goat.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Can I be cynical for a second in that we have a commander-in-chief who is the ultimate shiny toy look over here thing, and maybe he's keeping it in his pocket for a day or a month when the Russian investigation gets particularly heated to kind of go, no, look over here. Yeah. Because to say, why not now? Particularly a guy who you would see, he'd be the first one to say, look what happened over there. So maybe he's just saving it it for a rainy day.
We also have a president who, of course, has dabbled in conspiracy theories himself.
And made up stuff.
Birtherism, of course, he was the driving force behind that. We saw the footage of him floating the idea that Ted Cruz's father was somehow involved. And there's no suggestion here that there's something that in these documents that is going to fulfill Trump's thoughts about Ted Cruz or his dad. But this is something that was long planned to be released yesterday, and that Trump, of course, took credit for, as he's wont to do, for saying, hey, we're going to unveil the shroud here, and here's all the secrets, but yet at the last minute decides, well, we'll save some back for April.
Yeah, well, there has been this conspiracy for some time, but you look at it now in 2017 when conspiracy theories abound. And boy, I saw a sick one yesterday. People harassing those that were shot at and almost killed in Nevada at the Las Vegas shooting.
What?
Now being targeted and bullied and harassed and threatened on Facebook and on Twitter, saying that you are tragedy actors or something like that. It's a sickness. And this is another thing too, just as far as policing the sites. Facebook, Twitter should find those people that are posting that, track them down, and forever ban them from using their services again.
Right. Yeah. Meanwhile, Senator.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.